You want me to
Hi
introduce
all.
myself first?
Hi Kumaril. Hi Samir. Yes, we are live now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the fifth mentorship call now. For 5 sessions now, everyone's heard me speak, say the same things every single time. So I'm not going to take much time. Kumaril, I'm just going to quickly request if you could introduce yourselves to all the participants today who are viewing this call live as well as to Samir. Our other mentor, Kavita, will be joining us in a quick minute, so she will also jump in. And after Kumaril, Samir, can I just quickly request you also after Kumaril to introduce yourself so people have an idea of who you all are? And then, yes, the conversation is all yours and the floor is all yours.
Okay. So I'm based in Brampton, Ontario. So I'm in the financial services industries for almost now 22 years. It will be actually 23rd year. So get to know about the stock market when I was in India in 2004 or 2005, and started my fundamental study, fundamental analysis. I had my CA Inter in India, so then commerce background. So all the fundamental things we used to study. And there was always an issue that the fundamentals are good, but the stock price is going down. I think that is the number one, or I think the only issue with all the fundamental people. And then the company goes bankrupt, whereas the company was good actually. So those were always the issues. And I think CMT is definitely. I had a discussion with actually a couple of CFAs recently who also have done CMT, and then people ask us what's the difference and what's more important. So I have always I'm always biased towards CMT. So CMT I think is a wonderful program. If you really want to do something in the stock market, or you want to be associated with the money markets, how the money supply works, how the markets go up, down, sentiment, breadth, so everything. So from that perspective, CMT is a good program. And my journey doing the CMT with my job, I'm a senior financial advisor with a bank in Canada. And with the job, I completed this for in a 3 years time. It was very kind of an eye opening, a whole new world. No idea before that. So it was a wonderful journey, and being part of this investment community is also uh, very. I feel myself very privileged, and I have access to. And one thing, all the CMT holders uh, in Canada or US or anywhere in India, very good community, because markets is one place, they make you humble. That's definitely I have learned over the years. So that's everything. So go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Kumaril. Kavita, hi, good evening. Can I quickly request you to introduce yourselves to the participants who have joined us today? I'm not sure, Kavita, if you can hear me. You're currently on mute. Okay, so I think there's some tech issue on Kavita's side. So, Samir, why don't you introduce yourself till then? I'll just help
Yeah,
Kavita solve it till then.
yeah, sure. Yeah. Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. My name is Samir Tripathi, and I'm having 13 plus years of experience in game development, graphics programming, everything into application programming, computer background. So currently working as an engineering manager for a product company. This trading and everything, I've been doing since last 4 5 years out of my sheer interest. I have cleared CMT level 2 as of now. Last December, I appeared for CMT level 3, but unfortunately, I could not clear that one. Again, I'll reappear that in this year, December again. So that's about myself and CMT, about CMT certification and everything. My father inspired me to do that. He's a retired economics professor, so he asked me to go ahead with some sort of certification. So I started with CMT, and these learnings and everything helped me a lot in my trading career. So that's about myself. Thank you.
Awesome, Samir. I think Kavita has her audio on now. Kavita, if you can just quickly introduce yourself to the new participants who joined us.
Sure. Thanks so much, Kaiser, for your patience and to all the attendees too. I am Kavita Agrawal and I am the founder of EXP Invest. So, technical analysis is my passion. I've been doing it since 10 years now. I have been studying technicals. My first book was Candlestick by Steve Nistan when I was in high school. And I did not even know it was called technical analysis back then. I did not know anything about CMT, but I was very lucky I found it. And globally, I am the youngest person to finish all three levels of CMT. This has been confirmed by Brett, who's the governor of the CMT Association, and works in DocPatch US. So anyway, I'm very happy to be a part of this program, and I finished my CMT level 3 in 2015 and have been a charter holder since the last 3 years. So we'll be very happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Kavita. I believe Yumin has also joined us on the call. Yumin, if you can just quickly introduce yourself to the larger audience, and then we can just jump into the questions straight.
Hi, Kaiser. I'm sorry that can't switch on my camera because I have some issue with my computer.
No worries at all.
Okay, so let me do a short introduction of myself. So I'm a final year student who pursuing accounting and finance, and I have involved in trading for 1 to 2 years. But I'm interested in this platform. So I've tried to join this investment competition through my school. Yeah. Okay, that's all for me.
Awesome, guys. So thank you so much for the quick introductions. I am going to quickly hop off camera because I'm pretty sure all the participants are tired of seeing my face and hearing from me both on chat and in video. The floor is all yours. Samir, Yuman, you can ask the mentors any questions that you would like. Feel free to ask them questions related to the competition, technical analysis, your journey, anything you want. I could not leave you in better hands than these guys. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Kaiser. So, okay, so let me start. I have few questions. So, first of all, as I mentioned, I appeared for this CMT level 3 exam last December. Unfortunately, I could not clear it. There were few questions related to this comparison of two strategies, and the metrics were given like maximum drawdowns, ARP ratio, and etc. So it's related to system trading, and I found it little bit, little bit complicated. So can you please suggest me some good reference or books which I can read to master these things, these topics explicitly?
Kavita, you want to answer first?
I'm not really an expert in system trading, so I'm afraid I'm not really.
Maybe the only thing I can say is the book provided by CMT. I believe that is good enough. If you thoroughly read that book, you don't need anything else. Definitely, definitely, Google is always a good source. Wikipedia, anything related to a concept, you can clear yourself. There are YouTube videos. That's the way I went through. Definitely, I have a little more experience in finance than you, which was maybe a little better for me. But I think the best is just go through the book. The book, I think, covers everything. And then something you don't understand, then just Google it, or anything specific, then you can just find out that way.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
questions in the
Willis
CMT exam. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Willis CMT book is good enough. That's what you're saying.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I think
I have that.
I 100% believe, because that's the one I read. That's it.
I can actually jump in to help a little more on this, Samir, since I take care of queries in relation to this. So yes, as Kumaril said, the curriculum is designed in such a way that reading the curriculum is good enough to prepare you for the course and for the exam. Me, Joel, the mentors, we always mention that it's not the end point of your studying, right? There are books available, there are external resources that help you understand and gain a deeper knowledge and practice. But more importantly, the platform platform, right? This is the part of which you've been seeing right now is an excellent age with the larger community. So if you see some channels, including the candidate level channel, level 1, level 2, level 3, a lot of candidates will ask specific questions that they may be struggling with, others are present with as well. So that is
Okay,
also one
okay,
resource place you can join.
okay, absolutely. So yeah, that is quite helpful. I have that book, so I'll go through that again. Okay, and okay, should I go ahead with my second question also? Um, so yeah,
Yeah, by all
so
means,
I'm
please.
like managing small amount of money is some different thing, and like managing crores of money is altogether a different ball game. So how the technical analysis and the fake outs and the liquidity, these are the factors, are they correlated, and how they sorry, I got disconnected. So did you get that question right now? While managing crores of rupees, how this fake outs, liquidity, technical analysis, all are like all play come into the play, and are they correlated? What is your take on that?
Okay. So,
All right. So, see, when you're doing technical analysis, sorry,
yeah, go
Kumaril ji, do you want to take this?
ahead, man.
Okay, sorry. My network is really bad, so apologies for that. But Sameer, your question about liquidity and technical analysis and its correlation. So yes,
Yeah.
liquidity is a very important factor in technical analysis, but it is something that you have to. It's the first step when you begin doing the technical analysis of a stock, because and you are also right that your approach changes when you go from handling a small corpus to a big corpus. And when you're talking about a big corpus, I suppose you're talking about minimum 10 cr. Anything below that is not really very significant, depending on the counter you want to trade in. Like for example, if you're going for penny stocks or most small cap stocks, if you go in with a big ticket size purchase, it is going to show up in the chart. It is going to distort a lot of things. You might also not get a lot of advantage there, because there is a factor of the spread. The spread is usually higher when liquidity is very low, and your objective in the market should be to minimize your costs if you want to stay profitable, because it's very easy to overlook costs, and then your profitability gets a bad hit because of that. So before you start the technical analysis of a stock, you should ensure that the liquidity matches your expectation.
Okay, and I mean, like, how does this fake outs play? Because these days, whenever you see the triangle breakout or channel breakout, and it just breaks out, then again break down, um,
Yeah,
trapping,
bull
bull
traps
trap,
and
bear
bear
trap.
traps. Yeah.
Yes.
So, see, for that, now with technology, some complications have come in. It's mostly system trading and algorithmic trading, because what we are studying manually in technicals, the system has also been trained to look for those things. Systems these days can automatically generate support resistance levels. And as a result of that, when a key support comes, there might be huge selling or huge buying, depending on the approach of whoever is the programmer behind that system, right? What you can do is, firstly, definitely use stop loss. And secondly, even if your stop loss is triggered, what I personally do is I keep monitoring the stock irrespective of the stop loss trigger. It's not that I let it go, because especially in the last two rallies that we saw, which was in June. I'm talking about the Indian market here. The rally which came in June and in September, both the times, a lot of fake breakouts happened before the big rally started, and also lots of
Yeah.
important supports on many stocks were temporarily breached, but they continued to rally nevertheless. So what I personally use is, on the charts, I use parallel channels and use alerts in combination with them, so that even if your first trade setup fails, you continue to monitor that, and if the stock then gives you a confirmed reversal, then you enter the stock.
Okay. So I mean, like more and more technical people, like people start learning technicals and all. So this is going to be a genuine issue, right? Because to find the liquidity, they have to do the bear traps, bull traps, and this sort of issues. And I mean, like a clear-cut breakout may not work for all the patterns, be it Poland flag, be it triangle breakout, accenting triangle. So in that scenario, only stop loss is the helpful candidate. I mean, like that would be helpful. Any other suggestion you have anything?
One more thing.
See, once, yeah, Kumaril, please go on.
So one thing I can definitely add, these breakouts, if you look at the history of the breakouts, I think there's only 40% success rate in that.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at only one system, you should also look at, again, I'm coming back to, you read a book, you read a page, the real challenge is your interpretation of that. Because somebody who has written that book, his IQ level, his knowledge level is 10 times, 20 times higher than you. But now you are reading that book, that page, you are only understanding what your IQ level is. So you have to put some extra effort in that. So what
Okay.
you are saying is a simple statement that breakout happened and then failed.
Mm.
But did you check when the breakout happened, all the conditions fulfilled? Number one, volume. Number two, how was the breadth? Number three, how was the other factors like RSIs, ROCs, MACDs? If all those factors supported it, there will be very less chance to break it down.
Okay.
So your
Agreed.
question has the answer. It's only you have to
Yeah.
realize. You have to work
Yeah.
on it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's exactly right. You cannot depend on just trading the patterns. You have to look at it in a very
Mm-hmm.
holistic manner. You have to look at different time frames. I just started reading the book by Darren Miller, which is on technical analysis, and he has emphasized in the book as well that you have to, the best way to make sure that you're on the right side of the trade is by looking at multiple time frames and make sure all the time frames are agreeing and saying the same story, because uh, between trends there are also counter trends. So if you're
Yes.
looking only at a pattern on the 5 minute or 15 minute or even hourly chart, and you're not taking into consideration what the daily chart is saying or the weekly chart is saying and whether they're saying the same thing or not, there's a high chance that you'll be on the wrong side of the trade. So you have to be
Okay.
extremely selective.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Uh, I mean, like normally I've noticed this thing in daily chart or weekly chart also. It breaks the 200 moving average. Then again, it regains that moving average. I mean, like creating a absolute bear trap sort of scenario. Then it rallies. So I mean, like those kind of scenarios, fake breakdown. So it happens a lot of times these days, absolutely in Indian markets in last 1 2 years. So that's what I've noticed. And even one day, yes, I'm like today it will give a very bullish engulfing candle, and tomorrow it will start with a gap down, completely gap down, trapping up all the bulls. So
That's why
those
we
are the
need
scenario.
confirmation, right? That's why we need
Hmm.
closing confirmation and next day confirmation.
Next day confirmation. Yeah, that is helpful.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. Also,
uh,
moving average and candlestick patterns are not decision making indicators or patterns. They are secondary, they are not primaries.
okay. And okay. So I have one more question here. I mean, like to make trading as a career, so CMT is the first step to clear all the levels in CMT. So what are the next steps to make it as a career? I mean, like I have 13 plus years experience in other domain, completely different domain, but yeah, I have programming knowledge, which can be utilized in system trading also. But any suggestion, any guidance, that would be appreciated.
Why you want to take trading as a career?
Out of my sheer interest, I'm like I've done those things, a lot of things. So this is, I'm like quite fascinated by trading and
The
all. I'm
season
like
is the season is being taken by you and you only. Nobody else can tell you the right or wrong decision. The decision is
mhm,
yours, because trading is a like if you want to have a trading or as a day trader or trading as a career, It's a lot of work. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of efforts, lot of
Yeah.
failures. So that's why it's completely your decision. The kind of resources you have. Do you have enough bank balance for a year or 2 year or 3 year to try this trading and all? So there are so many factors
Yes.
involved. So it's a learning. I think you are in the second year or third year of this. Let's say 4 years. But I
Yeah.
think you should give it a lot more years. You will realize. First
Yeah, I
start,
Okay.
agree with
Okay.
Kumaril
yeah,
ji
first
on
start
this.
with a dummy account and see for
Yeah.
6 months how you do. Then see for 1 year how you do. How many trades are right? How many trades are wrong? Only
Yeah.
then make a decision. Don't put your own money from the starting and start doing something.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
I've been trading since last around 4 years. So last 3 years I am profitable, but last 2 years I clocked around 20 to 30%. I normally do FNO trading. The two things which I completely focus, that is, one is risk to reward ratio, and the second is the batting average. What is my accuracy of the entire trade? I know that I cannot be correct 100% of the time. What I target is for like 50-60% of the time with good risk to reward ratio. So I'm like, essentially that is the risk management I'm like I focus emphasize on. So this is what I factor in right now. So what is the industry standard benchmark of this return percentage? Or I'm like, and like how many more years I need to be consistent in this manner to make trading as a career?
Again, it's entirely up to you because the standard,
Uh,
like these
hmm,
days, is very common to take a sample
hmm,
of 100 people and make a statement.
hmm.
But you may be
Okay,
totally different. You may be totally different from those 100 people,
okay,
right?
okay.
It's your
Usually
situation.
the
Yeah,
usually the broad market index is a good
benchmark.
benchmark to have,
Hmm,
and there is no such thing as how many years you need to be consistent. I mean, if you're consistently being profitable so
hmm,
early off in your career with the return
hmm.
percentage you're saying, then you're doing pretty well, I would say. That's fantastic.
Uh,
But if you want to go full time, then you have to be a little bit more strategic in the sense that whether the earning uh, is enough for your living expenses or not. Do you have an emergency fund or not? Because see,
hmm,
you can be wrong in a job, and the maximum you'll do, you might suffer,
yeah,
is losing the job. But in the
hmm,
market, there is a lot of negative marking for being wrong. So you'll not
yeah,
just not make money, you will lose whatever you
hmm,
have,
hmm,
part of what you
hmm.
have. So it,
Okay.
it pulls you back. So you have to be prepared for that. And especially when you become a full-time trader, the
Hmm,
psychological impact it has on you, because most people become full-time traders out of job, and that
hmm,
comfort, that financial security of getting a paycheck every month goes away.
hmm,
Now
hmm,
suddenly you're in a position where, if you don't, I mean, you might be doing your best, but you might still not
yeah,
make money. And the psychological effect of that is crippling. And a lot of full-time traders, including myself, especially in the
hmm,
initial years, go through
hmm.
that mental
Yeah,
breakdown,
absolutely.
and then whoever rises out of it stronger are the ones who
Hmm.
survive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I've also seen the up and downs in the trading career. But I mean, like this reading of books, especially CMT, helped me a lot with the learnings,
Yeah.
and so I try to implement whatever I try to learn from the books. So this has
Yeah.
helped me
And
a lot.
yeah, and
Mm.
read the books multiple times. You'll see that every time
Yes,
you
yeah,
read, you
yeah, exactly.
unlock a lot of
Um,
additional value from the books. So yeah,
mhm.
so you have very good questions. I like that.
Okay. Okay. And one more thing, I mean, like joining any prop desk or any company or any brokerage house, will that help? I mean, like, what are the procedure? I mean, like, how should I apply? And or is CMT is a good certification to apply for any this kind of job, or should I
Oh,
do anything
CMT is a
else?
great certification, that's for sure. Though I would say in
Hmm,
India it is not caught up as
hmm,
much as I would like yet. But
hmm,
Kezat and Joel are both doing great job in that area and pushing the designation,
hmm,
hugely. And joining a prop desk, or it'll be helpful. You can then practice your market skills with someone else's money, and if you make money, great, you get a cut on that. If you don't, the worst is that they stop giving you money to trade and they tell you bye bye.
It's more.
But how to go about it?
Yeah, Samir, it's more about your personal learning and your understanding of the markets. And I think it's a must. It's actually really must. CMT is very, 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 very good.
Yes.
You get to know the real working of the markets. So don't worry if you don't get a job based upon CMT, because we are in the same boat. In Canada, nobody cares you have CMT. In my bank, there's only one CMT, just one CMT, whole bank, and he's the chief market strategist. They don't care about CMT because it's all different. Because when you go get a job, it's all different. Because CFA has been around maybe a lot more than they have done other things, but they're working on CMT. But I would say it's more about your learning than getting a job. So at this stage,
okay, I mean, like joining some prop desk or brokerage house, will that help in my career?
Sure,
I like to gain more knowledge about trading and to
definitely
be more practical
you
about
get to see how the things work practically, right? This is for your personal trading, but that is the things, the resources, the like what is happening really when they place the order, how the things affect, how the big money moves, and those kind of things. That's it's always a learning. It's always a learning.
Okay. Any suggestion? Anywhere you have any idea, like where can I apply? Any names can you suggest, or that would be very
one way that I've seen practically help. So someone on LinkedIn reached out to me that they wanted a job as a technical analyst. So I'll give you the same suggestion I gave that person. You're doing technical analysis of stocks, right? Start posting them on LinkedIn consistently. So this person that reached out to me started posting consistently, and within 3 months, he was approached by a brokerage house, and he was offered a trading capital of, I think, 1.5 CR and a job. So, but then again, see, I personally never worked with a brokerage house or a trading desk, because that is not what I wanted for my career. So first decide whether you want that for your career or not, because as far as trading is going, it is not the amount of trading that you do which helps you improve. It is like sir just said, it's the learning that you draw from it. And how are you going to draw learnings? By trade journaling. So for every single trade, you should know why you're entering and what is your exit strategy. Because if you think about it, there are only so many outcomes. I mean, if a stock isn't trending, or if the market isn't trending, it might either stay in trending or go into congestion. If it's in congestion, it might either stay in congestion or get into trending. If it's trending, it might be an uptrend or a downtrend. So it's very binary if you think about it. So you just need to think about everything very objectively rather than emotionally, and rather than rolling with it. You should know what you're going to do no matter what happens, because there are not that many outcomes. And when you're trade journaling, how it helps is, when you revisit that after 3 months, your emotional biases related to the particular trade have settled down. All you have left is the memory of why you entered the trade and how the market was. And see, remembering that is not that easy. That's why I'm suggesting trade journaling. So initially, when you start, you will find yourself writing longer sentences because you don't know how to express yourself. And that's completely fine. But as you get better, you will find a way to, express yourself in 4 or 5 words, and that's enough. Every 3 months, when you start revisiting your old trades, you will see that's the best course you can ever do in the market, because you will find your patterns which work, which didn't work. And I've been trade journaling since the past 3 years, and that has helped me like a lot more than I've learned in the last 25-30 years of my life.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, like that is quite helpful. I'll start doing that. I have been doing that. I mean, like, but not exactly putting comments on each of the trades, but I try to record the realized gain and the stop loss and what is the risk to reward ratio, and try to calculate on the monthly basis.
That's your trade setup. That's not your trade lesson. That's separate. So what I
Yeah,
prefer
got it.
to do is I rank myself on each trade from 1 to 5. And then I also rank myself on, how the exit was for each trade, how the exit was for each trade. And this is completely independent of profits. Like
Yeah,
a
got it.
stock where a trade where you made a loss, a small loss, might be a good trade. And a trade where you made profit might be a bad trade, depending on the execution. I mean, you just got
Mhm.
lucky. And if you're not studying your
Yeah,
trades, you will not know that, the profit was out of sheer luck. It'll just boost your ego, and tomorrow you try the setup again. This time you might end up making a loss which will eat into your capital. And this is what happens
okay.
in the market, right? When people are not
Yeah,
cognitive of their uh, trading behavior.
okay. So I'm like mostly I'm doing discretionary trading. So this system trading and all, I'm like, what is your approach onto that? Are you doing explicitly system trading or how is it? I'm like, you guys.
I don't do system trading so far. I am supposed to take training sometime this year to learn about system trading because I'm not a coder. So
Mhm.
that's something that's
Okay,
way out of my expertise.
I also
okay,
do only
okay.
discretionary trading. System trading is a whole different setup, and then
Mm.
Yeah, it's
you
a
have to
different ball game
get into
altogether.
this software and just and then again, if you want to change something, you have to come back to discretion. But I think
Yeah,
most of the small traders they only do discretionary as well.
Samir, I encourage you to
okay.
ask this on the chat because I know that there are quite a few people who do this.
Not
So within the chat itself, please be sure to
Mm.
put this question and you will get pointed answers to specific queries, especially for this, because I know some of our mentors who've done this earlier have been doing
Mhm.
this as well. So they'd be the best ones to guide you as well.
Okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, but from what I have heard you talk about so far, Samir, I would suggest don't jump from system to system.
Hmm.
Because it takes a lot of time to really embed yourself in one particular. So, like discretionary trading is something I've been doing since 10 years. And even today,
Hmm.
I feel like, I'm learning so much every single time I go back, like every 3 months, every 6 months, when I go back to my journals and study them. So don't make it about how much trading and the different types of trading you're doing, because in every kind of market, your
Hmm.
application of knowledge changes a lot, and CMT is just the first step of that. It gives you the theoretical strength. When you go to practice,
Yeah,
there's like a lot to build on top of that.
okay. Agreed, agreed. I'm like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, that's all I had, the questions I had. Mostly I've been doing system, discretionary trading only, not system trading. I've not even started doing that. I was just thinking to venture into that. So I'm like, obviously I have to backtest and find out if really helps, then only I'll do that. Else, as of now, discretionary trading is quite helpful. The way I trade. Yeah,
I think
That's
yeah.
good
focus
to
Thank you.
know.
focus on completing your CMT level 3 because that also will
Yes,
enhance your a lot of
yes,
questions will be
absolutely.
answered. A lot of questions will be answered by that too. And then you
Yeah.
start your trading, and then it will be a totally different trading. Believe me. Once you complete
Okay.
it, once you get the designation,
Uh,
it's a total different type of trading you will start.
yeah, sure, sure, absolutely. I'll go through that book again and again. So again, I'll reappear for that exam in December. So hopefully I'll clear that this time.
All the best.
Thank you.
All the best.
Good luck, Samir.
Yeah,
Since
thank
we
you.
have some time, Kavita, Kumaril, I have a few questions, and if you all are open to answering that, and a couple of them actually on behalf of some of our participants. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you straight up. Your journey, right? You'll give us a brief introduction about what you do, but if you can spend a couple of more minutes talking about your journey and how CMT, the program, technical analysis has made a difference. I know both of you all briefly touched upon this during your introduction, but if you could dive a little deeper, because a lot of our participants joining us in the competition are either students or candidates in the CMT program. So they are ones who have either just started exploring the world of technical analysis or are going through the program and testing themselves against the theories they're learning, similar to what Samir is. So your insights on this could actually help them a lot as well.
Nikita, you can start.
All right, sure. I mean, this is a topic I can literally talk about for hours. So like I said, I started using technical analysis or rather studying about technical analysis in high school, right? So it was so scary because nobody around me knew about technical analysis. And thankfully there was the internet, and that's how I found about the CMT. And as a commerce student, everybody around me was opting for chartered accountancy or company secretary and such degrees. And I told my friends, you know what, I'm going to do CMT. And they're like, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's chartered market technician from the US. They're like, so are you going to have to go to US? I'm like, no, it's like CA, but it's here. And it was really scary because I was the only one doing it, and there was nobody I could even speak to or talk to get idea about what is the job prospect or how to go forward with it. So it was really scary. But the CMT Association was really supportive. I remember talking to Mary Penza about it, and she was really nice to me. She answered every query. She used to be very prompt in her responses. And I got connected with Vivek Bajaj, who's and Vineet Patavri, who are the co-founders of Stockage, and they told me that there's very good future in it, so go for it. There's a lot to learn. Plus, I started reading a lot of books about technical analysis, and when I started doing CMT, is when I got the international exposure of it. I was like, okay, wow. So in India, even though technical is not that respected or not respected, it's not that popular internationally. I mean, it has a lot of visibility and applications. And when I started studying charts or about indicators and price action, it was amazing because I could do it for hours and lose track. It wasn't easy because I remember when I started studying charts, initially nothing makes sense, and I used to fall asleep after like every 30 minutes I would fall asleep because I don't understand anything. It would be boring. Uh, Boring in the sense that I wouldn't get anything, so I would just get exhausted very fast. But then I stayed at it, and okay, I'm going to use a term which might not make sense to a lot of people, but after a point of time, it started feeling like the charts were talking to you. That's what happens in technical analysis. Uh, and Also, for those who are starting out and getting overwhelmed by all the indicators that are there, it's completely fine to feel overwhelmed. Just take the time to work with different indicators and see how you feel. Don't go by what indicators any top trader or analyst is using, because it might not work for you. Technical analysis is a very individualistic stream, field of practice, and you have to make sure that whatever you work with matches your personality. You cannot copy paste someone else's experience or work into your own journey. It doesn't work like that. So be patient, give it enough opportunity. Feel free to move on to another thing. I know there's this thing of sticking true to one strategy. That comes after you've found your comfortable zone. After that, you just have to stick to it and then work with it in different kind of markets.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Kumaril, can I request your inputs as well?
Yes, so journey, as I mentioned earlier, so I have been a fundamental analyst kind of a person. So having my MBAs and the CA and commerce and everything. So this, again, I'm reiterating what I said in the introduction. Uh, Looking at a stock going down, but the analysts are saying, the fundamentals are saying, very good, very good. And I have the best example I have is BlackBerry, which I used to own in 2007. One of the best companies in the world, and the CEO is coming out. Oh, we are going to make this much this year and this much this year. And I was calculating, oh, okay, if they make $7.50 based upon 10 times earning, oh, it should be $75 at least. And the share is trading at 55. Oh, okay, that's great. And then share goes down to $40 and goes down to $30, goes down to $20, goes down to $10. And what is happening? We have no idea what is happening. So I think during that time, we all pray to, let's say, Lord Jagannath, and he sent somebody to my connection, and he introduced me to CMT. And again, as Kavita said, I have absolutely no idea what is CMT, what is this thing, and all that. And then when we started discussing that we are already doing so many other things, why not the charts and everything? And that's how I started uh, doing that CMT. We enrolled for the first course, and I used to again reading different kind of books, whatever we can find online and all. Because back then I didn't order that the curriculum book, but for level 2 and level 3, I ordered the curriculum. But I highly recommend that you should have that book, because that book will cover everything. And then if there's any concept, you can go outside other resources to check. But that book you need it for sure. And the final thing, uh, I think the biggest two things I learned from this program or from the technical analysis, it makes you humble, and it tells you how to be patient. Those are the only two things. And I think to be a good human being, we need both the things. And that's what CMT is about. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Kumaril. Thank you so much. Couldn't have put it in better words. We've heard similar conversations from other mentors as well. And yes, what you said, it makes you humble. I think this is one of the most important points, right? When me, Joel, we go out and speak to students, academicians, employers, everyone. The conversation change that happens once you've done the CMT, the kind of points you bring forward, the way you talk about technical analysis changes phenomenally. On that note, I wanted to ask a more generic question from an advice perspective. So, like I said, the participants joining us come all the way from new beginners to all the way to seasoned experienced people who are going through the program. Some have been trading for a long time, some are just starting their journey. And the investment challenge is a platform for them to test their skills. So they'll be taking part twice a year in this challenge, which will be the spring and autumn editions. What advice would you give them from the investment challenge perspective, that with regards to the competition, how to go about the competition, any processes they should follow specifically around this challenge?
I would suggest the participants to not play to win, but play to develop the process, because this is a very good opportunity for you to get into the real market scenario. Because with unreal money, uh, even though the 100,000 which you are being given in the challenge is not your money, losing that is going to hurt you. Okay, psychologically it's going to have the same impact. So this is a very good opportunity for you to build a solid system, test out strategies, and see what works, what doesn't work. And like as I was saying, it happens twice a year, so you have that, you can use the time in between to fine tune your strategies. Again, like I said, Samir also, use trade journaling. Don't let any profit or any loss happen in your portfolio without you knowing exactly why it happened. And everybody can have different systems. Again, when it comes to determining what is something which can compel you enough to go long in something, you should have everything well defined. Nothing should be rolling with it, or it shouldn't be a whim, it shouldn't be based on gut feelings. It should all be very objective. Create your decision trees, refine them, revisit them, revise them, and use this very well to your advantage. If you're doing everything right, you will win automatically. It's all about system and staying disciplined. Kumaril ji, your turn.
Yeah, I think you have explained, because this again, it's very individualistic, what you want to get out of it. You want to learn something, or you just want to take it as a challenge, or what's your priority, what you want to get out of it. It's a good experience to participate and learn a lot and try a few things and learn a few things. And I think that's the lesson I think we can all learn from here.
Yeah, and the biggest advantage which the challenge gives you is access to people who have experience, to mentors. So I think you should absolutely exploit that to your advantage. Ask questions related to career, ask related questions related to market. Uh, you should literally go and look for questions to throw at the mentors, and try to pick their brain. I think all the mentors are very approachable. So if you want to connect with anyone one on one, also, I think Kaizat will agree that nobody is going to turn you down on that front. In fact, the CMT Association and the whole community is so approachable that even if you reach out to anyone on LinkedIn and tell them that, you know what, I just want to connect with you for 30 minutes, everyone's going to say yes. And I have done this and I'm getting great results. And it's just amazing. You'll see what a great bunch of people, all the
Yes.
CMT Association,
Very good comment. Very good comment.
yeah.
Y'all have hit multiple nails on the head with one answer from both of y'all, and as stupid and easy as the sound, it feels like a scripted answer and a scripted question, but it's actually not. The reason I say that is because me and Joel, when we go out, right, we speak about exactly these aspects. We speak about what both of y'all have said, that the access to the community. And Samir, this goes back to the question that you asked, even about applying for jobs and understanding career paths, right? What Kumaril and Kavita said about the community is paramount, because today we have a jobs board within Discord that has posts from people who are posting from within the organization and where they're working. So when they come up with anything that they have requirements for, they post it here first, because they know the value the CMT program brings and the community brings. Just having conversations with different members opens up so many horizons, the networking opportunities, the kind of career trajectories, our events. It's phenomenal. And even the investment challenge, right? One of the biggest things when we speak to students and candidates when they go through it, and something, Kavita, you mentioned that you may not just be playing to win the competition. Of course, winning it is a big factor. But let's say if you're going through multiple iterations of this challenge, you can actually showcase how your investment performance journey has improved over time, or what are the changes in the methods that you brought about from one investment challenge to the other. And this goes a long way when you're sitting across recruiters, potential employers, and saying that, listen, I may have made mistakes in the past, but this is how I've learned through this journey. So it's so much more valuable than saying, listen, I know portfolio management, versus actually saying I generated a return of negative zero point 0.5 alpha, but this is how I've improved my investment process. So that is of paramount importance. And that's, I think, both of y'all hit that nail on the head in just one answer as well. Last question from my side, guys, is that, the markets are turbulent. Participants have had now, I think, 3 iterations of the competition in different varying factors. Um, Something about, I mean, one common theme that came across each competition was risk management. And that's one of the things that all CMT charter holders speak very actively about. I wanted to get your 2 cents about risk management procedures. What are your thoughts on it? How do you go about it? What the value you find from it? So yeah, that's one thing that we definitely wanted to touch base on today.
Yeah, you just mentioned about the market turbulence, and I had a flashback of someone uh, ranting on the Discord about how the competition only allows long strategies and the market is going down every day. It was really funny, but apart from that, see, I myself, I only trade long strategies. I don't short the market because, again, in the Indian stock market, shorting strategies are not encouraged a lot. There's only options or leverage that you can use to go short, and I don't do leverage at all. But see, every kind of market, no matter whether it's a bull trend market, bull trend, no matter if it's a bear trend, there's always opportunity. You just need to look for it. You need to have a system, you need to have a way of screening through stocks, and you just need to eyeball through it, find opportunities, and you have to be extremely selective. Especially in a bear market, 80% of your time you'll likely be analyzing and searching for opportunities. 10% you might be executing, and the other 10% might be going back on your decisions to trade. But you have to be very, very selective. And the fact that the challenge happens every 6 months gives you an opportunity to actively participate in the market in every kind of turn. What is the fun if you're going to participate in only the bull trends, right? Bull trend, everybody makes money. The real trend, the real test is, when the market is not going up. And if you look at it, out of 7 years, only 1 year is the bull trend, a strong bull trend. But if you want to become a full time trader, you have to survive throughout the cycle, right? So you need to know how to find good opportunities for yourself, and you need to do it within the scope of your strategy and your comfort zone. If you keep jumping strategies that, okay, you know what, somebody's trading options and they're making money, so I'm going to start trading options, or somebody's doing with, you know, some systematic trading, so I'm going to start doing that, it's never going to work, because the market's always going to stay ahead of you. So it's like, you stay constant, let the market keep going in circles, and every time it comes around your comfort zone, you absolutely go bonkers on it, and like, you print money at that point of time. But even rest of the time, there will be opportunities for you to participate, and you just have to be very, very selective.
Thank you, Kavita. Kumaril, can
That
I
was
get
my
your
2
2
cents
cents
on
on
that.
it as well?
I can sum it up in a few points. Number one, market is always right. Number two, it's not what you think. It's always about what market thinks. And number three, there's always an opportunity. The limitation is you. Sometimes you stick with a few stocks, 10 stocks, 15 stocks. The opportunity is not between them. You have to extend your numbers. I know a few big like chief market strategists for big companies, and I remember this guy. He was I listened to him a long time back, and he follows 300 shares. So he analyzed 300 shares every weekend. I know somebody who's doing 400 shares every weekend. Now look at that, like why we need to do 400? Like out of 20, 30, we will get at least one. No. So they do that. So you have to put effort. You have to put, definitely. There will be some years, as Kavita mentioned, there would be some days, some months, you don't need to put much effort. Trend is good, it's good. Everything is good. But there would be days when you have to put extra effort. And that's what I think CMT prepares you for. And the final point, which is objectivity. So you will learn a lot how to be objective. We all are subjective. Oh, no, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that, and this and that. Oh, no, it will come back. It's going, oh, I will give it a day. No, it will come back. I know it's a good company. Market is always right. So just be objective. Simple. So
Thank you so much, Kumaril.
So
there's
a famous quote, being happy is very, very simple. But being simple is very difficult.
Yeah.
And that's on point. Yeah.
Our behavioral biases always play out, and checking that, I think, is the biggest challenge. And I'm speaking from personal experience as well. I think all of us speak from our personal experience as we go through this journey.
Definitely.
But on that note, guys, thank you so much. Extremely engaging conversation. Samir, I hope you were able to take some good points out. I know a few of our audience members have definitely taken a few points. I can see the comments. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. And we have a few weeks left in the competition. So good luck to all the participants. Samir, I look forward to see your performance continue.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Dr. Kumaril, for joining us today and giving your insights.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.